Now that we've given a brief history and explanation of PR, it's worth explaining the theory of PR a little deeper. In 1984, James Grunnig and Todd Hunt published the 4 models of public relations as part of their book, Managing Public Relations. The model describes the different forms of communication between an organization and its publics. The first form of communication is the press agent. The second is the public relations information model. The third is the asymmetric persuasion model. And the final one, the two-way symmetrical model, has become accepted as a formal definition of best practice for communication in the Western markets between an organization and its audiences. 1. The press agent uses persuasion and manipulation to influence audiences to behave as the organization desires. With roots in the 19th century, press agents worked to influence public opinion by creating news. P.T. Barnum was a master of the art form, weaving fantasy and half-truths. 2. The public information model, as discussed in the previous Ivy Lee section, uses press release and other one-way communication techniques to distribute organizational information. The move away from pseudo-events and half-truths was a significant shift toward more ethical practices. 3. The two-way asymmetrical model, as discussed in the previous Edward Bernays section, uses persuasion and manipulation to influence audiences to behave as the organization desires. It does not use research to find out how the public feels about the organization. The post-World War II rise in consumer products created a need for this kind of targeted scientific marketing. PR played a role. Under the two-way asymmetrical model, practitioners use research to get inside the heads of consumers and to help fashion the sell messages. Grunnig and Hunt called it scientific persuasion, and it remains the stock in trade of advertisers everywhere. The model calls itself two-way, but the goal is anything but balanced. It incorporates lots of feedback from target audiences and publics, but it's all about persuasion to trigger a transaction, and that's why it's popular with marketers. This will all be discussed more in the PR and persuasion section. 4. The two-way symmetrical model can best be viewed in comparison to the asymmetrical version. It uses communication to negotiate with the public, resolve conflict and promote mutual understanding and respect between the organization and its stakeholders. It relies on honest and open two-way communication and mutual give and take, rather than one-way persuasion. It focuses on mutual respect and efforts to achieve mutual understanding. It emphasizes negotiation and a willingness to adapt to make compromises. It requires organizations engaging in public relations to be willing to make significant adjustments in how they operate in order to accommodate their publics. It seems to be used more and more by non-profit organizations, government agencies, and heavily regulated businesses, such as public utilities, than by competitive, profit-driven companies.